So many things that I left unsaid. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that is not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, know I'll find you in my dreams. My heart rages around like an ocean in my head. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that is not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, know I'll find you in my dreams. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that is not reality.
Hello. All right. Look at this. All right. Hello, everybody. How are you guys? I hope you guys are good. Hope you're having a great day or night, depending on where you are. Yes, please hit that thumbs up on your way in. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you sub up. Let me say hello to everybody in here. A prayer warrior. Hello, silence. Limelight girl. I am definitely here for this. Mickey Shell, MCE, Teresa, D. Libby, Maui Sun. Hello, everybody. Okay. Okay. Let me get back over here. All right. So, as for those of you that are not familiar with this, SF investigates. He's a private investigator of the sorts, and he's been on the Sebastian Rogers case recently. Well, it seems that he has deleted his X account and made statements that he is leaving the case. He is going to be silence. Elizabeth, hello. So he's going to be telling Chris and Katie that he's got to leave. He can't do this case anymore. Can't deal with it. He said it's because of crazy YouTubers that have ruined it, blah, 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 blah. But We all know how this goes. So we're going to talk about who is SF Investigates, okay? Now, I have said before that I was familiar with him from the Kylie Rodney case back in August of 2022. And what a disaster he was there. Let me tell you. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of theories going around. Some people think it's because the well dried up. Some people think it's because the shit's about to hit the fan. Some people think he may have uncovered some information that he's like, I can't represent them anymore. But the only reason he gave was he's just sick of everybody's crap, basically, and you know, and it is what it is. Hey, Mama Bear. You know what? I do. It's right here. I got my coffee. But I mean, listen, I know there's a lot of people that like him and there's a lot of people that think he does good, but I'm not one of those people. So I mean, it is I'm not, as far as I was concerned, the only thing I could see he was doing was trying to protect the Proudfoots. So I'm glad to see him gone. Yeah, I curiously interested ever since Kylie May. I didn't sub to him, just heard about him through lives. Yeah, he was on X. He didn't have a YouTube channel or anything. That's true, Limelight Girl. That's true. Karma. Holy moly. Long time no see, lady. Yeah, we know he's shady, right? That's actually what I want to talk about. So, SF has been the one releasing video footage in this case, right? He did the same exact thing during the Kylie Rodney case to try to distract people, to try to get people off from the fact, or I'm sorry, he released video footage to try to get people to stop looking into the case of Kylie, to try to stop looking into what actually happened to her. So he just discovers this footage of her supposedly driving herself into the lake, right? He puts that out, and then all of a sudden, all these people drop from the case. They're no longer interested. And that's what he does. So I believe that was his intention in this case when he put out the video footage that he put out. It's because he doesn't want people to be looking where they're looking. He doesn't want people to continue doing what they're doing. Hey, Lady Roses. Because he knows he got caught interfering in an investigation and obstruction of justice, and he is hiding information and don't want to produce info or footage, and he was clearly protecting guilty people. Oh, Karma, I'm so glad you too. I've not seen you in forever. You've been with me since Kylie. So I'm really happy to see you in here. That's awesome. Family's good. Hope yours is too. Shady like Tony Dodd shady. Oh Lord. Hey, Island. Okay, actually, so I got a bunch of stuff that I'm going to bring up. We got to look at. And I'm actually going to bring up something from the KR case because it's all about SF Investigates. So, this is what he did. I want you guys to see it that didn't follow the Kylie case so you can compare and contrast it from his actions then to what he has done in the Sebastian Rogers case because I know all of you have followed that. Hey, Bushi, welcome. Glad to have you here. Lori, hello. Carrie. Well, listen, don't be one of those people that's like, oh, you sound like another creator and her name rhymes with hey. He intervened himself in Dylan Round's case, Kylie Rodney, Moscow, Riley Strain. Yes. Now, you know what's really super crazy is a lot of us know that SF used to be a photographer. In 2021, he was a photographer for like Playboy, Vogue, like he did models, shit like that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, then he decided he was going to become a private investigator out of California. Well, so he goes, actually, there is, I made a video about it. I've been going through all my videos trying to find it. But I made a video, and there was a video where after he left the Kylie case, he went into looking into this other case, right? And during that case, there's an article with him standing there with family members. And it says private investigator Stephen Whitaker joins the case. That was him. So I don't know why. And I'm not going to stop until I find that. I know, Silence. It's so good to have you here too. You've been with me forever. But there's an article where he's listed as Stephen Whitaker instead of Stephen Fisher. So I don't know what really happened there or why, but he was under a different name. But that is fact. And I actually showed the article in the video that I'm talking about. I just have to find it. But here, we're going to compare and contrast, okay? Yes, Stephen Whitaker. Hey, Brianna's World. Welcome. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, maybe you did. Because I covered that case for a long time. All right, so let's take a look at this. This is what he did then. He was the only one releasing. Like, why is it that this private investigator in all these cases is the one releasing this video footage instead of Ellie? It seems to be like that in every time. No, that was different, Carrie. But yes, I did talk about that, but that's not what I'm talking about. So let me pull this up. Why SF investigates and not the police or the detectives? This was a year ago. Okay, hello everybody. So I just made a short, but I wanted to add some more to this. Okay, so hey everybody. So I just found something very interesting. So I'm not saying it was her, but somebody with the same name, Chelsea Graham, was a searcher for Kylie Rodney. Okay. Somebody named Chelsea Graham was searching for Kylie Rodney on the Caltapo app. And I just find it weird that SF Investigates was on the search for both Kylie, and he went and searched for Chelsea. And he's happened to be the one that released this videotape from the hotel where she was talking about just leaving, going away and starting a new life somewhere. Why wouldn't the investigators release that tape? Why would the tape be given to SF for him to release the tape? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Hey, everybody. Okay. So I just found something very interesting. So there was that one, right? And then that leads into this one. Oh, shit. Hold on a second. As you could tell, I had a cold making that video. Okay, so SF Investigates. Okay, he's a private investigator. He was on the Kylie case. Excuse me. He was on the Kylie Rodney case as a searcher. He got close to Grandpa. He was also searching for Chelsea Grimm. Now, in Kylie's case, he just happened to be the one that found the fire footage, the fire cam footage of the cars, and he released it. In Chelsea's case, which he joined late, he just happened to be the one that released the tape on Twitter, the video on Twitter of her talking about going away and starting a new life. Why would it? Just to clarify, not that long ago, he posted that he was going back out to Arizona to look for Chelsea Grimm to continue the search for her. He is the one that during the search for her, he is the one that released way back at this time, a year ago, that released a video of her checking into a hotel. And he's the one who said that he had gotten enough information that made him, he's stepping away from the case because she is a grown adult and she wants to go start a new life somewhere. So he was telling everybody to stop searching for her. And not that long ago, probably maybe a month ago, he posted on X that he was resuming the search for Chelsea. After a year ago, he had told everybody to stop looking for her because she was going to start a new life. All he has done in every case is cause distractions and cause, he's just, he enters a case and just screws everything up. Private investigator, okay? Why would a private investigator be given these things, these videos, to release? It's not the cops releasing it. It's not the detectives coming out and saying anything. It's this online private investigator that just happens to release these weird odd videotapes in these cases. Like, it really makes me wonder. It doesn't make any sense. After he released the fire cam video, no cops ever came out and said, yeah, that's her. No cops ever came out and said, okay, we saw the videotape. Yes, that's her car. Or no, that's not her car. They never came out and said a word. After he released this tape of Chelsea at the hotel that he put out on Twitter, which in an open investigation makes no sense to me. Why the cops would be like, yeah, guy, here, why don't you go post this on social media? Because the cops never said a word about that tape either. So, like, what is really up with this guy? And why is he getting involved in these weird fucking cases? And why is he the one releasing information? Why is he the one when he releasing these videotapes that he just happens to have in his possession? And every one that he has released has been an ending to a case as far as he's concerned, right? So he's released these videos and been like, okay, well, here's the answer. This is what happened to Kylie. Okay, here's the answer. This is what happened to Chelsea. Okay. And now he's been the one putting out video footage in Sebastian's case. Like, what is the deal with that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. What is this guy's deal, and why does he happen to be involved in some of this shit? So there's just a little bit of history for those of you that didn't know him back then or didn't realize back then. Absolutely. Yep. Everybody went all hush hush after that. Everybody literally just dropped off. SF lost it because his team dared to speak to a woman who's put in a formal complaint regarding his PI ethics or lack thereof, rage mixed with whiskey or other bad mix. He dissed everyone. Yeah, I would say so. Okay, now let's look at some other things that he has done. All right.
I'm saying this now. I'm talking now. This is me talking. I think what SF is saying, I thought about this afterwards. It's like, what's the point of this? You know, this conversation, all this stuff. And the situation is that he said, oh, these people are fake. Well, people don't know they're fake, and they need to know. It's just like that story. You ever hear the story of the men in the cave story, where like the prisoners are put into a cave, and all they can see in the outside world are the shadows. And at one point, they see a shadow that thinks like it's a dragon or an elephant, and like Granny or me.
Might
Or
not be the right
But
one.
there's people that are entertaining it. It was involved in it, but you know what
Okay,
I'm saying?
no,
I guess it
that's
could go either
right.
way. But I think his involvement.
Okay, that's not the right one. Sorry. Give me a sec. I got a bunch of stuff pulled up here. Can you imagine if he worked for the CIA, for crying out loud? What in the world? Okay. How is this doing Sebastian Rogers any good? Here is SF. This was September 30th, 2024.
It will echo back at me.
Yeah, no. So it's closed now, so hopefully it's better.
Yeah, so hold on. You said you're a little more apt to like the theory of him being like lured out. Now, see what I thought was okay. So I have children of my own. So one of them was playing a game, and I was telling the chat about this. I didn't know that there was a chat room in there, and they were able to chat in that. Not only did they chat in that chat room, they could also go into a private chat with these people and multiple people at one time.
Right, and exactly. And the thing is that I don't think we have a real sense of how much online activity he got through Seth, and if there, was possibly a burner phone, and because Seth made some comments about him having this online activity, and he did, like we know from that Uncle Taco guy that he would interact with people online, and
Right.
I will say that Katie told me that like he like desired friends,
Yeah,
and
right.
of course.
Well, that's what worried me because, when I was sitting back listening, they were able to talk to each other, and like I said, they could add people, and then you could go into Roblox is what it is, and then you could go into a private room.
Yep. That's all that app is. That app shows up in so many cases. That app is a real problem.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. I was on it.
Do you know if he was actually barefoot or was he stocking-footed? Do you know?
So listen, I focused a lot on that, and is as far as they are concerned, they knew of every pair of shoes that he had, with the exception of possibly a pair of. He could have had a pair of slides. That because he did at one point, they're not sure. So those are not really throwing into the shoes thing, but they feel that those four are all that there were. But
now this was September 30th. Now he said in one of the interviews that he did not sign on to be, correct me if I'm wrong, but until, was it October of 2024, where he signed on to be a quote unquote PI for the Proudfoots, which we've all seen his, all we ever seen of him is him online attacking other people. I say the same thing. I don't know how he got up there. He has caused a lot of problems in this case as well as others. Yes. Okay, let me see. Let me do this. Give me 1 second, you guys. Give me 1 second. I will go through and I will find that freaking video where I can, because why would he be using a different name? It makes no sense. But I'll find it. Is this the one? Okay.
That actually reminds.
Whoa. What has he really done to help find Sebastian?
That actually reminded me. Are you?
Good Lord. I need to turn that down.
Will they give you details that they know? Like, say I called and I'm just little old me, or I'm an imposter, like, I don't know, an ex-reality show guy. Are they going to give me? Would they give you more information than they would one of us?
It depends on the case. I mean, so, I've had cases where I'm asked to come in by law enforcement or by a federal agency. This case, I don't even reach out to them often. I think they've. I think that they're over, like what's been going on. Like if everybody's like, I know that some of their creators, I don't want to call them creators, some of the other whatever you want to call them,
Or housewives.
made a big thing out of it. Oh my God, SF. He's like not telling law enforcement. I don't have any responsibility to tell law enforcement anything. I'm a licensed investigator. If it's something I feel that they don't have or they need to know right away in an exigent circumstance, of course I'm going to do that. But people are like, oh, did they tell her? What was it recently about the? I don't know if it was about the canines or whatever. Like, I don't have any responsibility to tell them everything I find.
Okay, let me pause it right there. Now, this guy, how many times has gone on and said, "Oh, I'm out for Sebastian. I'm just here to find Sebastian. I'm just here to blah 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 blah." But yet, here he is on January 12th of this year, saying, "Well, it doesn't matter what I find. I'm not obligated to tell the police anything. But if you were really out for Sebastian and your job is to be an investigator and your all your main priority is finding Sebastian, would you not report what you find to the police?"
Right away in an exigent circumstance, of course I'm going to do that. But people are like, oh, did they tell her? What was it recently about the? I don't know if it was about the canines or whatever. Like, I don't have any responsibility to tell them everything I find. I'm a licensed investigator. That's what I'm licensed for. I am there to run an investigation alongside their investigation. Not saying together with them, but I'm there running a private investigation, meaning not private, not secret, not meaning a.
Really? Because you just said that you're not obligated to tell the police jack, right? But you're out for the victim and you want to attack everybody else. You spent half your day attacking other people online, calling other people out when you were hired by the Proudfoots, the last people to see Sebastian. And you sit on this panel with these people and say, listen, I don't need to tell the police anything.
Private, as in private practice, not hired by government, not employee of a government agency. So people that have this like, oh, private, he sure is public for a private. I am very public. I use the public and I use media and I use, I put things out there to see how people react and who it upsets and who it doesn't. And and I use the internet and that's how you solve cases. People that think that private investigator means secret, it's like, you need to find that that's not what the private means.
That actually reminded.
Wow. And this is the guy. He's such an upstanding guy, right? Yep. See, people don't know. People don't know. Oh, here's another one. Here's another example of where he lied. So, for those of you that don't know, Adventures with Purpose was the group that found Kylie's car. They found the car in the lake half hour after they got there. After police had searched it for days, rigorously searched it, these YouTube diving team just showed up and found the car within a half an hour. Well, SF was going around telling everybody that he was in the loop, that they were sharing video footage with him from under the car. They were sharing all the information they had with him. Here's the divers afterwards, like a while after, doing a Q&A. And this is what they had to say about the private investigator, Steve Fisher. This is a guy that actually dove down and found the car.
Nick, the private investigator said that you guys took him into the trailer and shared the underwater footage with him. Is that true?
I don't remember him being invited into the trailer. If I remember right, there was only me,
Only law
one other
enforcement.
cameraman that had the footage on his laptop, and there was like 3, maybe 4 law enforcement agents, and they could have been from various agencies. And that private investigator guy, he was there with the dad and the grandpa.
Yep, there he is. That's Steve.
And the only interaction that I had with him, he came up to me and he said, I got all my little logbook from that trip right here. And I've actually got right here. So he came up to me and he thanked me for finding her and verifying that. And he opened up his wallet and he pulled out a business card and he handed me his.
That's his business card. For crying out loud. Real professional, right? Real professional. My kids could have made a better card than that.
Business card right here. And he said, thank you. And he handed me that. And he said, when this all settles down, I'll see to it that you get your reward. And that was the last interaction I had with him. So I don't remember him being in there to see.
He wasn't in there.
Footage.
And you know what's crazy is that, as a matter of fact, because they wouldn't share video footage with him and they would not share information with him, he went out right after she was found and immediately started dogging them online, telling everybody that instead of letting family know first, they dropped it on social media that they found her car, and that's how family found out. That is not true. They had a contact for the aunt. That is who they called. Mom wanted nothing to do with them. They called who they had the contact for. So he basically, after this, went out and went after these people because they didn't want to share information with him. Sound familiar? We have seen him do that in Sebastian Rogers' case. Look what he did to the neighbor. When the neighbor wouldn't give him the video footage, he said, oh, everybody in the neighborhood gave me their video footage except Bobby. And then he tried to implement her in Sebastian's disappearance and her kids in Sebastian's disappearance because she wouldn't give him what he wanted. He did the same thing to these guys. Facts. He is a liar. And when he doesn't get his way, he acts like a baby, throws a fit. Yeah, he went after Ryan Upchurch during that too. I know, honestly, it feels like it was yesterday to me. Okay. Let's see. Listen to what SF says here. And this was February 22nd, 2025.
Media, and I put things out there to see how people react and who it upsets and who it doesn't, and I use the internet, and that's how you solve cases. Media, and I use.
Yeah, listen to that again carefully.
Media, and I put things out there to see how people react and who it upsets and who it doesn't. And
I put things out there to see how people will react. He just right there comes out and tells you the type of person that he is, the type of investigator that he is. He puts stuff out to try to see how people will react to it, whether it's true or whether it's not. Because his job is to get a reaction out of people, not to actually find Sebastian.
Media, and I put things out there to see how people react and who it upsets and who it doesn't, and I use the internet, and that's how you solve cases.
That's how you solve cases. Seriously? Seriously. Oh, yeah, right here.
People in the neighborhood as an investigator. Listen, like I said, I've got over 100 hours of surveillance footage now from that neighborhood, and that's because I went and talked to neighbors, and every single one of them, every single one, welcomed me. And if they had video surveillance, they gave it to me. The only person that would not talk to me was Bobby, as the only person that had something to hide and wouldn't talk to me.
Because she didn't want to give her video to this random dude, this random guy. She has something to hide. Oh, she must be guilty of something. She must have something to hide, because why wouldn't she give her why wouldn't she hand over everything she had to me? I'm not a cop. I'm not a Lee. I'm not a detective. Why wouldn't she give everything to me? She must have something to hide, of course.
So I didn't bully anybody. The only person that would not talk to me was Bobby, as the only person that had something to hide.
Yeah. What a piece of work. I'm telling you. And yet people want to go, oh my gosh, well, he's a good guy. He's a good private investigator. He does a lot of good for a lot of cases. And I'm sitting back here going, really? I mean, have you had any interactions with the guy? Have you ever listened to the things that he said? I wouldn't either. I would not either. If I lived in that neighborhood and I was a neighbor and this guy showed up in my house demanding my footage, I'd be like, no. Hold on. Is this the one I already played? Oh yeah, okay, right here.
And because listen, we see, I mean, I never heard of this Roblox before. So about 2 years ago, and I've had 5 or 6 cases where it's that's been the source of how the kids end up leaving. Now they have been a little different situations where these have been like usually female teens that honestly aren't happy in their home environment, and we're kind of looking for we're willing to go. We're not so much straight. They are abductions because it's somebody that wasn't authorized to take them took them, but they were willing participants, which doesn't excuse it. But Sebastian, I don't know, and this isn't to sound mean. You just got to look at the reality situation. Is I don't know what the value of Sebastian is to somebody.
Okay. Again, he claims to care about Sebastian. Only interested in finding Sebastian. Sebastian's the only one that matters. But he's going to sit here and say, well, I don't know if he would be abducted because, I mean, what's the real value in Sebastian? Dude. And people respected this guy, and people had respect for this person. Get out of here.
And you just got to look at the reality situation. Is I don't know what the value of Sebastian is to somebody unless it's a.
What do you mean? Yeah, right? Like who talks like that? And you're supposed to be out for him. Oh yeah, he does that. He's a jumper. He circles. He loses trains of like he doesn't say full sentences. It's kind of crazy. How do you respect someone or have respect for someone that talks about? I mean, is that why he does what he does? Is that why he's acted the way he has acted in this case? Because he sees no value in Sebastian's life?
But Sebastian, I don't know, and this because it's somebody that wasn't authorized to take them, took them, but they were willing participants, which doesn't excuse it. But Sebastian, I don't know, and this isn't to sound mean. You just got to look at the reality of the situation. Is I don't know what the value of Sebastian is to somebody.
The value of any child is unmeasurable. Douchebag. That's what he should have said. That's not what he said. The value. And the parents hired that clown. Mom and stepdad hired that clown right there that thought of their child that way. Yeah, it makes sense because they thought of their child that way. It's disgusting. ISS. Okay, let's pull these up. Let's see. So he says they should have never fired Chloe. They should have followed her advice. Now I don't see any way of cleaning it up. We just have to support law enforcement. I agree they never should have fired Chloe. I do believe what the neighbor said in her own opinion. I don't believe that his parents are involved in his disappearance. News today, Tony gets super creepy. I know the situation with the cameras. I can't comment, but I can assure you when the case does come to a conclusion, this will make sense, and that lady is 100% wrong. Do you have any suggestions for cleaning up this mess?
To be clear, like I don't think these kids. I mean, there was nothing nefarious. But when I brought it up, a couple of weeks ago, whenever it was, and it's gotten turned into something. Wasn't my question was because the mother wouldn't talk to me. Was I just want to know, like, was there possibly a game going on that Sebastian could have overheard it was going on and been going to try and join in and maybe gone the wrong way or something? It would give us an idea then of like,
right.
So.
Okay. So,
and her sons do some very strange stuff the night of the 25th. I'll tell you that. Late night, the 25th. She's a son that does some very strange stuff that needs to be
talking about Bobby.
Explained. And I'm going to be presenting to law enforcement. I went and talked to neighbors, and every single one of them, welcomed me. And if they had video surveillance, they gave it to me. The only person that would not talk to me is Bobby, as the only person that had something to hide and wouldn't talk to me. She has a son that's hiding and waiting for somebody in the dark late night on the 25th, and there needs to be some explaining for that. I'll just leave it at that. So I don't want that to get lost in this whole debacle.
Mr. Tomato Head said, what time was he lying in wait?
Let's say after dark, before midnight, late at night. Lying in wait might be, lying in wait would say that he's waiting for somebody to commit a crime. I would say he's, I would frame it more as trying not to be seen. I don't know what his intentions are if somebody came by. To be clear.
Wow. Right. He's so willing to protect the Proudfoots that he's willing to trying to pin it on the lady who would not give him the camera footage, trying to pin something on her child. Is this a professional investigator? Do y'all think? Does he seem very professional to you? Because he doesn't to me. So I say him leaving this case, good freaking riddance. Yes, Lady Rose is true. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. Yeah, what a dirtbag though to talk about a kid that way. Think only, let me see. Isn't there some kind of narrative? I don't know because I really was not focused on other people when I was on that. I was trying to just do my own thing. But I do find it interesting that he's acted in all of this unprofessional way, right? He's not acted like a like an intelligent private investigator who is being paid to find a missing child. He has not acted in that manner. But then as soon as some lady, some random lady that he doesn't even know, right? I'm talking about Julie. As soon as some lady says, wait a minute, I've done a lot of digging on this guy. He's got a sketchy past. There's a lot of sketchy things. And she wants to start talking about making claims on his PI license. Next thing you know, he's gone. He flips out for her being given a platform and he bails. He shuts down his Twitter account. He's like, I'm leaving the case. Crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's coming next. What was war? You know. It's got to come next, but people have to see the big picture first. People have to see, because a lot of people only know SF from this case. He's acted this way in many, many other cases, at least 2 that I know of. All right. Yeah, sus to us, Maui. Let me see. I'm trying to find the one where he's actually refers to. Yep, right here. Okay. Oh, wait. Now, he has always said how inappropriate it is that people would accuse Chris and Katie of doing anything without any proof, right? Oh, let's see. Let me find it. It's in one of these. Where does he say it? Against Seth. Okay, right here. Let me read this. This is what he wrote. This might be the most terrifying post I've ever seen on Twitter, and surprisingly, it involves the actions of Seth Rogers and Tony Mathis, posted in Dog the Bounty Hunters group. This disturbing message describes a plan to drug individuals in order to extract critical information from subjects who may otherwise be unwilling or unable to cooperate. Shockingly, they refer to the use of Rohypnol as an advanced investigative technique. They plan to drug suspects in the Sebastian Rogers case. Now, let me just pause real quick, because if you remember, there's a video clip out there of him. He was on Down the Rabbit Hole being interviewed, and he said literally the best thing in this case would be that somebody was drugged and then admitted to the crimes and then walked free because it was, you know what I mean? Because it was because Rohypnol was used. So he's like, best case scenario, this would be the best thing would be, and I've played the clip. This would be the best thing in the Sebastian Rogers case is for someone to be drugged and then admit they did something and then walk away free because of the Rohypnol. Their plan includes administering dangerous psychoactive compounds like ethanol, scopolamine. Can't even see what that says. Anyway, Rohypnol, the date rape drug. Oh shit. Sodium thiopental and barbital, among others. I want to identify the physician willing to prescribe these substances and who conducts the interrogation so they can be arrested. This reckless, illegal, and unethical behavior poses a direct threat to public safety. Who are the victims of this operation? If anyone has been affected by this company, please reach out to me immediately. I will connect you with federal law enforcement agents who can take swift action. I've already contacted a TBI agent I work closely with. Okay. And the DEA will be next on my list because this is their jurisdiction. It is an extremely potent sedative. Rohypnol, infamously known as the date rape drug, sodium thiopental is a general anesthetic, and barbital is a barbiturate. These are highly dangerous substances, and it is mind-boggling to think this idea came from Seth and Tony's think tank. I'm beginning to believe Seth may have killed Sebastian. Really, like, he talks all this stuff about how inappropriate and unethical it is for people to accuse Katie of possibly harming her son when she was the last one with him, when he literally states right here that he's beginning to believe that Seth may have killed Sebastian. I have always believed this was a runaway situation, but with this behavior, I think there's a high probability Seth is a murderer, and Tony thinks he's some sort of fixer. Probably because Tony has the same type of hidden background. Both Seth and Tony appear to be dangerously unhinged, desperate to cover up their crimes. Really? Because Seth's not the one hiding and keeping quiet. That's your clients. Oh, I'm sorry, your former clients. It's like, I feel like if any other private investigator with any actual stakes, right? And with any actual intelligence, with any actual, what's the word here? Substance, would look at this guy and go through and see all the things he's said and done, nobody would believe he was a professional private investigator. It's more like a guy who woke up one day and was like, I'm sick of taking pictures of models. I think I'm going to try my hand at being a PI. But yeah, everybody wants to sit there and say, oh, well, Chris and Katie have never let anything be said like that towards Seth. They have never, ever let anybody point the fingers at. Come on, you're paying this guy and he's out there saying these things about Sebastian's father, who, by the way, was at work when his son went missing. Really? I'm going to have to look into that. I'm going to have to start that. He literally is a threat to, like, I would not want him anywhere near any case of mine. All right. Let's see. Hold on, give me a second, guys. I want to see if this is what I'm looking for. Well, here's this. I found this and I wanted to here's a tweet that he put out December 18th, 2024. In fact, I am the one that found the fire cameras that solved the Kylie Rodney case. No, you're the one who put out the video footage of what you claim to be a car driving into the lake when so many people debunked that video and proved that it was not her car driving into the lake. So no, you're the person who put out the video and distracted everybody and made everybody stop looking for the truth, because that's what this clown does. Hold on a second. Let me see if this is. Okay, so he put this out. He must have filed this yesterday. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's foul play involved. But I interviewed him twice, actually, during the Kylie case. And he knew how I felt about it. And he was not. Give me a second. Limelight girl, that's what I was just saying. He posted on X that he was going to be going to Arizona to investigate a case on a missing woman. That's Chelsea Grimm. That's who I was telling you about before. When a year ago, he put a video out and told everybody, oh, I found enough evidence that, and here's a video of her checking into a hotel. I found enough evidence that I've come to the conclusion that she wanted to leave. She wants to leave everything behind, go start a new life. So everybody can stop looking for her now. And then, like I said, yeah. And then when you seen that on X is when he was like, oh, I'm going back out to look for her. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Why are you still collecting money? Because you told everybody a year ago to stop looking for her. Yes, he told everybody that she was drunk driving and she drove into the lake. But she was sober. There was no alcohol in her system, and she was in the hatchback of her vehicle, not in the driver. Like, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. Don't take me back there. Yeah, that was a whole crazy thing. All right, so he filed this to have his name taken out of the paperwork, out of the RICO case or whatever that is. Kindly mark, okay, to the clerk of courts, kindly mark as withdrawn on non-party opposition to motion for preliminary injunction filed by Stephen Fisher, a licensed private investigator, on October 20th, 2024. I respectfully state that I am a neutral party to the injunction and no longer take a position on its issuance. This withdrawal should not be misinterpreted as support or opposition to the injunction. A copy of this filing has been served upon all counsel and parties of record. Respectfully submitted, Stephen Fisher, March 24th, 2025. So he withdraws from this thing that he's been nonstop talking about. He completely deletes his X account, or at least makes it so people can't go to it. And then he decides he's going to drop out of the Sebastian Rogers case, all after Julie goes on and says that she is filing reports against his licenses. If that does not tell you that he's got a lot of shit to hide, I don't know. Almost done. Okay. Let's see.
Okay, I don't know if you can answer this or not, but it would maybe help put a lot to rest. You've been working like on this behalf with Chris and Katie. Have they ever said anything to you that made you suspicious of them?
No, I mean, well, that's a tough question because listen, and I truly mean it.
That is not a tough question. That is not a tough question. It's a yes or no answer.
In every case I'm on, I work for the missing person, right? So, until Sebastian's found, Chris and Katie will always be on my, suspect list, as will any family member. That includes Seth, includes anybody that's close, or anybody that could have a reason or any access to him. You can't rule anybody out until we find him. Everybody thinks I'm protecting Chris. I listen to everything they say, and I ask them some tough questions. I will say that everything I have asked them for, including a lot of very sensitive data, they've given me right away. There's nothing they haven't given me, but until he's found everybody, I haven't ruled anybody. I honestly do not know what happened to Sebastian. So, I can't rule anybody. I lean towards it still being a voluntary walk away type of situation and something went wrong, but everybody's a suspect still. Just because they signed the paperwork on behalf of Sebastian does not mean that I don't look into them. In fact, I've looked deeper into them than anybody because I have the most access to them.
So wait a minute. You've looked deeper into them than anybody else. You've dug into them, but yet you don't feel that they're innocent, because you can't sit there and say, I believe 100% my clients are innocent. No, he can't even say that because he knows that they're not, in my opinion, allegedly.
No, the counter said, but what is it?
So yes, I have a few more videos that actually dug into SF's past before he became a private investigator, and I found some things. So I'm going to go back. I got to find those videos. And then I'll come out and I'll do another part 2 of this tomorrow and actually show you the man, Steve Fisher, who he really is. Okay. But this kind of gives people an idea of he's not this great guy out for Sebastian that everybody wanted to make him out to be. It's not who he's been in any other case, and it's definitely not who he was in this one. So, as I said earlier, he's leaving the case. Good. Don't let the door hit you on your way out. Bye-bye. Probably the best thing you could do is walk out of this situation. All right, let me hear you guys' thoughts. Get down in the comment section below. I'm going to end this one here. I will do part 2 tomorrow with more information, and I will try to find those videos because those contain a lot of I had a lot more time to be digging 2 years ago than I do now. But definitely let me hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. Please share this video. Please like it. Please subscribe to the channel and consider joining the family and becoming a member. And yeah, just let me hear your thoughts. All right. I love you guys. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe. Keep asking those hard questions. Keep spreading that light. And I will see you all next time.